Today we're going to cook a turkey and a vegetable dish. No carbs, no salt, a nice healthy dish that'll fill you. It looks great when it's served. It's delicious, and you could mix match any kind of vegetables you want, but certain vegetables do give a nice flavor. So I always try to stick with the carrots, the onions, the pepper, little tomato. Everything else can I change over, and of course garlic. And of course I have to have my little cup of coffee and Kahlua while I'm working. Delish. Now, in the skillet, I'll show you the carrots. The carrots are cut like this. Of course, the carrots take the longest to cook, along with the onions. So the onion, we're going to put into the skillet with the carrots. Cut like so. And we'll finish cutting up the other vegetables and set them aside, and they'll be added to this as we're sauteing later. Now, there's no reason to waste the stem. The outside is hard, but the inside is nice and tender and tasty. And a lot of kitchens will use this. I've known places that will slice this, and if you look at the way it's sliced, what does that look like? I don't know, it looks like a water chestnut to me. There are places that have used this in place of water chestnuts. Not saying that it's right, but you know what? It's crunchy, tender, and very tasty, and it's a waste to throw it out. So that's the broccoli. We reserved that for later. And then next we have the green pepper. If you don't want to use green, use red, yellow, whatever color you want. The only reason I use green, I think it's more flavorful, and I'm used to that flavor of peppers and garlic and celery and Cajun cooking. We'll put the peppers, which don't have to be cut up that small, with the broccoli, because they take the same amount of time to cook, and they'll be added towards the end. So now you have the carrots, the onions, the broccoli, and the peppers. Now we have squash. We have yellow squash and we have zucchini. The yellow squash and the zucchini, I take the seeds out, cut the squash like so, and this we'll reserve later. This only takes, for me, just seconds to cook, and this will be added in its correct order later, with the green and yellow squashes can be put together. Then we have a piece of tomato. The tomato I'm going to put in kind of towards the beginning. Why? Just to let it dissolve and let the it just helps in flavor, and I don't want to see pieces of tomato. So tomato we just cut up, and we'll throw that in now as we're cooking that, and it'll keep the moisture in there also. I'm not looking for a lot of color in it, I'm just looking to cook the vegetables. Then we have garlic. Now, if you can, just eat everything raw. There's more nutritional value, but it just kind of tastes a little bit better when it's warm. So I'm going to make all the vegetables al dente, and the garlic I'm going to place with the squash, because the same thing with garlic, all the benefits are destroyed when you cook it too long. So we're going to just lightly cook it. The flavor is going to be there, and when I'm done with this dish, you'll see how delicious everything is. Then we have the turkey. Now, once this turkey is like sauteed and cooked with the vegetables, you could tell someone you're eating a piece of pork or you're eating a piece of veal, depending on how you cut it, and they will believe you. So I'm cutting thin because this doesn't take but just a few minutes to cook, as you see. We're not going to flour it. And I'm not going to see, well, you know what? I'll use a little sea salt. Just a little bit. And we have nice medallions of turkey breast. And this amount here, I didn't weigh it. I'm not weighing anything on this, but believe me, once you eat a few pieces, and don't forget it shrinks. So this amount here is good for 3 women or 2 men, with a little leftover. But once you start eating it with all the flavor, the vegetable, the flavors all mixed together, it just it's very easy to eat. And once you're done, what you don't have is that you have a contented feeling, not bloated. If you had mixed pasta with the vegetables, which is a great thing to do, but I think we're all trying to watch ourselves, so here's looking at you with a little more Kahlua. Okay, now we're going to season the turkey. You can do this any way you want. I just happen to like, and I did this yesterday, and I just put a little thyme, and it's not fresh thyme. Fresh is always the best, but you know what? What you have in the house is what you have, and I'm not going to go shopping just for that. And it does impart a nice flavor. So we'll take a little sea salt. Just sprinkle it on. Not much. Black pepper so you can see it. Plus, I don't like white pepper anyway. I like the taste of black pepper. But I do use white pepper in anything that's white. And I'm putting a little cumin. Just shake a little cumin on there. Just so it doesn't have... plain, I don't like plain anymore. I have to have some kind of seasoning. And that takes care of this side with a little dry thyme. And you'll turn it over and do the same thing to the other side. I turn the flame up high and we'll put some virgin olive oil in there. You don't have to waste the virgin olive oil. You can use regular olive oil if you want. And because you kind of lose the flavor of that oil once it's really cooking. That's why when you're using the virgin olive oil, you usually add it at the very end so you keep that flavor. And we're not flouring this either today. And you'll see how nice this works out. I'm going to keep this running, and I'm not going to say it takes X amount of time to cook. So once I put the turkey in, just look at your watch, and it doesn't take long. That's where people make a big mistake. They overcook it. Now you could take this dish and make it into something very tasty but extremely fattening. And that's not where I'm at anymore. All this turkey should go into the skillet, using a thick bottom skillet, as that is. This is my favorite one. I do have one a little larger, but not necessary. And you see it shrinks immediately. So all that turkey that I had cut is going into this skillet in one shot. There you go. Nice high flame. Nothing is sticking. And we're just going to sit and wait. See if I can tell you anything else about this. You want to use fresh asparagus in here? Go right ahead. I mean, peas, sugar snaps, cauliflower, whatever vegetables you want to use, you can do that. So we're going to let that cook. It's on a high flame, notice. It doesn't take long. Meanwhile, while that's cooking, I still didn't finish my coffee, so let me have just a little bit more. I love Kahlua and coffee. Now once this is finished, just about done, I'll put it on the plate, and then immediately we'll saute the vegetables.